Okay, this is podcast number 5. Today we're going to take a look at how to create a killer pitch, some of the important things about a killer pitch, and why you need to have one. Look forward to discussing this on the live stream. All right, and welcome back to The Innovator. This is Innovate Excel, the podcast show, and today we're going to be talking a lot about how to create a killer pitch. I'm going to be giving you some resources so you can actually run a workshop activity around that killer pitch so that you can drive that forward and why that's important. We're going to be sharing a link here from the business templates, businessplantemplates.com. That is going to show us exactly how we could create a workshop activity around that. And speaking about workshop activities, one of the important things that I have during any workshop that I do is to keep people on time with those activities, because you're trying to drive that through the process very, very quickly. And in order to do that, you need to keep people on track. And I've got here a tool that I utilize, and it's a simple egg timer. So you set the time on the egg timer, say it's a 20-minute activity, and of course you can hear it ticking, and when the time's up, time's up. So very important to use egg timers. Electronic ones will work just fine. Physical seems to get more attention, and more people stop at the time when they see the egg timer actually going off. So very important for any of your workshop activities to keep people on track and keep focus on the activity at hand. So straight on to it, let's take a quick look at the businessplantemplate.com, which is where I found this article. You can search all over the internet. You can find these things quite easily. There's a lot of ways to do this, but let's start talking about exactly why it's important. So first of all, what is an elevator pitch? An elevator pitch is really a summary of the business, and it's important to be very, very concise. And the reason you want to use an elevator pitch is because if you walked into an elevator going from the first to the 40th floor on a building, you would want to pitch your idea to a potential investor and have it summarized very, very concisely. What I typically find is when I'm working with individuals with their ideas, it takes them a good 40 minutes to help me understand exactly what it is that they want to create. And that is valuable time that an investor just will not listen to. So what you've got to do is you've got to go ahead and get an elevator pitch ready so that you can present that at any one point in time. Typically 60 seconds to the 2 minutes is the absolute max, 2 minutes on the upside, and you want to go ahead and be able to present that as if you were in an elevator ride, riding to the elevator with them. What we talked about just before was the similarity with the venture capitalists and people that are trying to invest in it, and typically people want to work in those teams. So if one member of the venture capital firm is interested in funding your company, they need to be able to present it to others. And so in doing this, they have to be able to summarize it. They have to be able to present it quickly. And if they don't have an elevator pitch and they have to understand exactly what your company does, it's really, really time consuming for them. And they're looking at 150 to 200 deals every single month. And they want to get to the bottom of those 150 to 250 deals so that they can actually present those ones that they want to get invested in. So how do you construct this? It's a great formula for creating this is really to build a workshop activity around it, and you want to focus the workshop activity on the following aspects. What does your company do? Who are your key customers? What is the key benefit you offer to your customers? And why is your company better than its competitors? And what information gives your firm more credibility? And is there a clear and clean business sector that your company fits? So if we take a look at exactly each one of these in turn, what does your company do? You want to be able to summarize that really quickly. It's a product, it's an activity, it's a service, it's something that you provide to your organization. The next piece is really, what sector does your company serve? So are you in the health insurance industry? Are you in the health transformation industry? Are you in the iPhone applications industry, specifically targeting invoices? Are you in a specific credit card processing organization that's bringing something new to the table? So again, what company, what industry does your company serve, right? Who are your customers? Who are the people that you're going to be targeting here? And then the third point was, what key benefits does your customer offer? Or what key benefits do you offer to the customer? So you want to highlight quality, key differentiators here, why you're better than your competitors, and what information is going to give your company credibility here. For do you have a long track record of being in this industry? Are you just starting up, but you've got a string of entrepreneurial companies behind you in the past? And then really, is there a clear business sector that the company fits into? So really getting down to that niche sector. And again, we come down to it again. You want to combine all of the activities in those 4 questions into a summary that answers those 5 questions in about 35 words or less. So here's an example that this particular one, this website uses. So here it is. So Rick's Bridal sells high-end wedding gowns and accessories to brides in New York City. For 20 years, Rick's has served over 25,000 satisfied brides through his 6th location. Now, that's not a bad pitch to start off with, right? But one of the areas that I like to always do is a key differentiator. So why, he's not really answering the question, why is your company better than its competition? We want to be taking a look at that. You want to set that out. So what would make Rick's Bridal much more important than somebody else? He has satisfied 25,000 brides, but maybe he has something special. He has key tailors on staff that actually fit the dress to you so that it's perfect. It's not a matter of just pulling it off the rack. Maybe that's the key differentiator that he has. Maybe he has a key differentiator where he will actually allow an individual bride to design their own with a key designer that he has on staff. What makes him different from the rest of the organizations out there? Now, this may sound quite simple, but really what you want to be doing is practicing your pitch. You want to practice it over and over again. You want to be able to deliver it really, really quickly. So if we talk about a pitch of being around 100 words total, that's answering the questions that we talked about before, you want to be able to deliver it without flaw, without anything. You want to get interest into it, and you want to be animated about it. So it's important to practice it. It's important to do it in front of an audience. It's important to continue to deliver that. You want that to be memorized. You want it to be delivered really, really easy. So if we go back to the screen share again, we can take a look at the infographic that's on here, and it really talks about the key ideas here. Now, they say 60 seconds or less. I think that's great. I would have two versions of your pitch deck. I would have a 60-second or less version, and then I would have a little one that's a little bit more detailed. In my workshops, we go to get the pitch to 2 minutes. Typically, that's what we're doing when we're presenting in our workshops before the executive committee. We want about a 2-minute pitch with a lot of flashy graphics that are associated with it as well. So again, 60 seconds or less is great, up to 2 minutes, but no more than 2 minutes. 2 minutes is it's getting very, very long. And again, the reasons why we're doing this is really because the investors are so busy, and you want to be able to get it out in front of them, and you want to be able to push your agenda on them in such a way that gets them intrigued and interested in it. If they've got to sit there and listen to the history of the company and how you did this and how you did that and where the idea came from and all the rest of it, that's just fluff that you don't need to be doing. You want to focus in on it again as detailed as you can. So if you were to construct a workshop around this itself, I would actually have a 20-minute session where we would put together, and we do this, and I can give you some templates just by searching the internet here, but we would set up a workshop that would address the particular questions. What does your company do? Who are your customers? What are the key benefits you offer your customers? Why is your company better than other competitors? And what information gives your firm more credibility? And is there a clear and concise business sector that this company fits? So I would have an activity working throughout a workshop that would give you answers to each one of these questions, and it would drive into getting the best and most concise elevator pitch that we could put together. Each one of my activities in this would be limited to 20 minutes, and I'd probably group them into 3 sections. So you could construct a workshop activity, probably 2 workshop activities, and the first one would be what does your customer do? What does your company do? The second part of that would be who are your customers? And the third part would be the key benefits that you offer your customers. So you could draw this up on a T format on the screen. On a whiteboard, you could have a section that says what does your company do? You could have who are your key customers, and then down the bottom, what are the key benefits that you're offering your customer? Again, limited it with an egg timer to 20 minutes. Run through that activity. You're going to get a lot of information up there. So how do you get those ideas up and keep collaborative? So you would break up into sections of 5 or 6 people, and then you would give everybody a set of post-it notes. And those post-it notes, you would spend 3 to 5 minutes actually writing down every one of those ideas that you can. So answer the question in 3 minutes, as many post-it notes as you can. What does your company do? As soon as that 3 minutes is over, again with the egg timer to keep people on track, you spend 2 minutes putting them up on the board and discussing them very, very quickly, and then you move on to who are your key customers. Again, 3 minutes, you're writing down the customers, specifics about those personas, who, what, where, when, how, and answer those questions as far as actually driving into the answers around those customers. And they're going to help you build personas about your company later on for a different part of a workshop. And the last section really is for the first 20 minutes would be what key benefits do you offer your customers? Again, post-it notes for 3 minutes. Write down as many key benefits as you can. Get them up on the whiteboard, up on the section of the board. Now, at the end of that 9 minutes plus the 2s in between, you're at 15 minutes now. The last 5 minutes, what you want to do is group those things into themes so that you can really consolidate those things around. We talked a little bit about themes, and you're going to see this recurring coming up over and over again. So group them into key themes. Now you've already got a high level theme. You've got what does your company do? You've got your customers, and you've got what you're offering to your customers. But now start to group those into themes so that you can come concise. As those post-it notes start to gravitate towards those key theme areas, you can actually build a elevator pitch around those things. So if we take a look at the second 3 activities here, again, I would do it up on a whiteboard. I would have 3 sections again, 3 minutes on what do you do better than your competitors. Get those post-it notes up on the board. What key information gives your firm more credibility? If you've got a number of people coming up with that, that's always a good thing. So you'll understand exactly. There'll be more people in the organization that may have a longer history than others, and they may think about something that was done in the past that could be brought up here. And then really, is there a clear business section? Business section. Now, what you're going to see in a lot of these last 3 is you're going to get diverging information from them. So even though you've brought these people together and you're exploring this elevator pitch for this particular product that you're creating, you're going to get divergence, and you're going to help all of those people that are in that particular workshop understand that they've got different ideas about what that product's going to be. So if you bring them all together at the end of the workshop period, your elevator pitch is now going to put everybody on the same track. The elevator pitch is almost the vision statement for the product that you're dealing with. And as we know, a really good vision statement drives the developers, the programmers, the business analysts, the the SMEs towards a product that's specifically around that deals specifically with an endpoint that's going to look like what your vision was in the first place. So the elevator pitch again is so important. It is a great way to understand exactly what's going on. And I'm going to take a look at some elevator templates here on the pitch examples. We can take a look around here. So if we take a look, I always come over to the images here because the images are going to give you a good set of templates that you can utilize, and you can use any one of these. This is actually one that I really, really like, and I use it in a lot of my activities at the start. So it's a very simple structure. It is for a targeted customer who has a targeted need. There's a product name, and it's part of a market category that has the key benefit that's unlike the competition. This is very important. So key differentiators between you in your company and what your competition does. So taking a look at unlike the competition. So this is a great way. And then another unique differentiator of this particular product that you're dealing with. So you and your company is unlike its competition, and then what is the unique differentiator that's going to make this thing drive forward to it. I always use this particular I always use this particular elevator pitch structure to start off with, and then I get into a more complex one, because as you see here, if I could go through this particular elevator pitch in what take me 15 seconds to get through, and the idea is to get to the 60-second to 2-minute mark. And so I always start with this particular format, and then I move on to something that's a little bit more complicated. So one of the other elevator pitches, this is another great format that I've used in the past. What service are you proposing? What's the problem it will solve? It helps construct it as well. And if you take a look at it, there's a VC. This is another format that we utilize a lot in class as well, or in our workshops. I am the CAO. We're a developer of the product name or the brief description for the market. Again, answering those questions that we talked about before from the elevator pitch template. What does your company do? Who are your customers? What are the key benefits that you're offering to your customers? What makes you better than your competitors? What information gives your firm credibility? And then really, is there a clear sector that you're after here? What's the niche market that you're going against? This is really good. This will get you to about a minute and 15 seconds to 2 minutes. You don't want to go any more than that, and this is a great tool to actually move forward with creating the elevator pitch. So in summary, we talked a lot about why the elevator pitch is important, how you can describe your company or your business very quickly. We talked about the different components of the elevator pitch. And again, if you take a look at the share down below, you can see these links that are in there. You can also do a search on Google for the templates and find a template that meets your needs. Early on in my workshops, I use a simple template. Towards the end of the workshop, which typically are one full day, we get a more complex VC type elevator pitch that's going to describe this really, really good. So I appreciate you joining me again for these top tips for innovation and workshops. I'm going to keep these things coming. Please comment below. Let me know if you like these things. Also, if you've got any questions, comment below as well to help me understand exactly which part of the innovation workshops you're having problems with. I am the innovator. I run multiple workshops. My name is Nevada Smith. I look forward to meeting you in future podcasts. Thanks again.